Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Finks.
And we're back, man. Episode 283.
Yes, sir.
All right, before we start this podcast, I want to preface a few things. One of those is I am kind of sick. So if you hear my voice sound a little weird, I am sick, okay? Also, I want to apologize to Keith because I farted really bad before the podcast.
My gosh. Yeah.
And his nose started bleeding. So I want to formally apologize.
I got a nosebleed.
Yeah, it was bad. And Keith stormed out. He gave his therapist a call after I did that.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was the worst. The worst smell I've ever smelled.
It smelled so bad it had a sound effect. It's like womp womp womp.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into it, man. Man, sniffing butts at Barnes and Noble.
Speaking of farts.
Yeah, I know this guy was sniffing ass. He probably trying to get a whiff. All right, Barnes and Noble sniffer, man sniffing women in stores released despite history. A California man caught on a viral TikTok sniffing women's butts at a Barnes and Noble was arrested last week, but he's already back in the streets despite a lengthy criminal record. The disturbing clip made the rounds online last week. The man, who law enforcement sources believe is 36-year-old Khalees Karan Crowder, is seen going up to women from behind and allegedly sniffing them. According to online records, Crowder was arrested last week for what appears to be a separate misdemeanor incident in Glendale. He was released a few days later. He looked like he sniffed butts. This guy's
he look weird.
I want you guys to stop right now and look this story up. This guy's ears are fucking insane.
Yeah.
His ears look like Doritos chips. Look at this shit. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like unsalted, cheesy Dorito ears. It's fucking weird.
That's crazy. He could probably hear her butt cheeks swishing together when she walked through Barnes and Noble.
He could hear the little microaggression farts. He's like, oh my God. Oh. That's some weird kink. But see, here's the thing. We may be laughing about this shit, right? But let's be clear. This is sick, man.
Yeah.
And a guy like this may have the ability of being like a serial rapist. Like, this is some shit that's serious. Yeah. What I would advise women to do is sometimes women be just living life on autopilot. Like, sometimes you don't have a you don't have a sensor for the dangers around you. But I would ask you to be like hyper vigilant when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to look around, make sure you know whatever's going on. And fellas, I would also tell you, if you see a man doing weird things around women, to call him out. Say, hey man, what are you doing? Like, I'm not gonna look at a guy sniffing butt and say, oh, that guy's weird, and just walk off. Like, if you're sniffing butt, I'm gonna call you out. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna call you out and then, you know, tell the girl like, hey, this guy's sniffing your behind.
Yeah.
You know.
I wonder if it smelled good.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because he doubled back. He went and smelled another booty too.
Yeah, I don't know. Women be having different smells, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some women don't stink, but they got like their own like.
That's like a stench.
They got their own. No, not a stench.
Just stench it don't mean it's bad. Stench is just a smell.
I guess, but stench usually has a negative connotation.
I guess.
Like, sometimes pussy just smell like liquids. Like, if they have like a bunch of vitamins or something, you could smell it.
Yeah. I ate some asparagus the other day. And
Lord.
Yeah, my pee it had
that
stench.
Shit was pungent, like bad.
Yeah. It was bad. Yeah, like, for a few days. Supposedly,
what we eat as men and women can change the taste of our juices. I guess if women eat a lot of fruit and stuff, and then you going down on them, you could taste it.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I one time, I've experienced like a coffee taste.
Oh shit!
Yeah, got my little caffeine fix once upon a time.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Did she have some creamer in there?
Gotta have a creamer. 2 sugars.
She had a fucking venti size creamer in there. Jesus Christ! You imagine girls that eat a bunch of hot Cheetos all day?
Damn, that's nasty.
You go down there and you got some hot and spicy lime hot Cheetos.
Flaming Hots.
You go down there and taste Takis. You like, you had nacho fries. All right, let's get back to the matter at hand. Yeah, this guy's a weirdo. Mm-hmm. And just looking at him, he looks like he sniffs butts.
Yeah, he looked like mental illness.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch these guys, ladies. I know, because I know women talk about the dangers and how they don't feel safe, but I've also been around women, and women do things like they'll be blocking someone in an aisle or something and not know they're doing it. and you gotta like, hey babe, move, you know, hey, somebody's trying to get by or whatever the case. Just sometimes women don't tend to catch certain stuff. And it's not to say you guys aren't completely aware, but sometimes you got blind spots. You need to know where when you go into a building, you need to know where every exit is in that motherfucker. Every exit. You need to know if some shit pop off, how fast can I get out that front door? You know, if a dude is following me, how can I get rid of him?
Yeah.
Right? Like if the dude is sniffing butts, right? Let's say she gets in her car, he gets in his car, he following her. Drive to the police station.
Yeah.
That motherfucker will leave you alone. But he might be a savage and try to sniff your butt at the police station. You know, be fucked up? What if the cop come out now, he's sniffing your butt? You be like, I can't trust men anymore.
You have the right to remain silent. You're sniffing her booty.
Like, oh my God. He's actually kind of hot. I don't mind him.
Yeah. She did the right thing though. I think I don't know what the aftermath was of her telling the employee at Barnes and Noble.
He's a multiple offender, man.
Yeah, but I think she did the right thing because there are times where, you know, women feel like for whatever reason they just don't communicate, you know, certain things like that, or they don't communicate that the weird behavior of guys in certain spaces. So, you know, I commend her for actually saying that and, you know, putting it on, like even recording the whole or documenting the whole thing because now, you know, he has a very familiar face. So if you see him, if anybody else sees him in any other capacity, you know, that they'll be aware and they'll be, you know, mindful and be able to protect themselves. Cause yeah.
I think, ladies, I think that even though there's weirdos like this that'll sniff your butt, there are also men out there who will do things like I've done this many times where I'll be leaving like Vons or something, right? And there'll be a girl that's putting groceries in her car and I won't leave until she's put all her groceries in the car and then she got out and then she drove off. Because my thing is if it's late at night, and I just drive off, what if somebody comes up and tries to mug her or something? Yeah. It's not going to take me no more than a minute or two to just sit there, turn my high beams on, and then once she gets in the car, I could drive off. Just because it's a courtesy, you know? Man, that rain is tapping hard as a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's on the AC.
Hurricane Hillary Clinton is fucking coming.
Yeah, with the hot sauce.
That's crazy. What if fucking Hurricane Hillary Clinton came and just a bunch of fucking printed emails start flying everywhere? Like, oh my God, it's a fucking email hurricane. God damn it. Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, not a whole lot else to say about that story.
That's the booty sniffer.
I would just, you know, once again, also the guy got out. So that's the part of the story that's not cool.
But he didn't get arrested for that. He got arrested for something else.
What's shocking is the records show Crowder has a very long list of arrests over the years, but was let go relatively quickly after the August arrest. Our sources say Burbank PD is currently working on handling over its findings regarding an investigation of Barnes & Noble sniffing ordeal to the DA, but no charges for that incident have been filed against Crowder as of now. So this guy is the booty sniffing bandit, and this guy...
Is he like a decent dude, or is he homeless?
I don't know. It doesn't matter what he is. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, man, I know it does. But what I'm saying, it does matter because if he's just kind of like aloof and he's out here just with, you know, walking around with mental illness, like, you know, those kind of people kind of float around Barnes and Nobles and spaces like that. Right. But if he's like a person that got like a life and a job and stuff like that, that makes it 10 times worse.
That's true because you have the resources to do normal people shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to sniff asses.
Yeah, it's like, you could go see a movie or something.
I'm sure there's women that will love his fucking Dorito-shaped ears. He's like, babe, it reminds me of Doritos. He need to find a woman. He needs to find a woman that will let him sniff butt for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he should just sit inside of a liquor store and and sit right by the Dorito aisle and then just hit on women right there.
I think he got turned out by his first girlfriend. I think she used to do something with her butt and then now he can't.
She might have been a little bit older too. Yeah.
So
she made him eat her booty. That's probably what happened.
And she was well seasoned since she was older.
Yeah.
So she had more
fresh out the shower too.
Yeah, but she had more things marinating back there.
Yeah.
You know, she probably ate a lot of pot roast and stuff like that, and you know, casseroles.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of casseroles and green beans and stuff. You know, old people food.
I wonder what like fragrances do he like? Do he like the more like the more like floral fragrances, or is he more like you said, like more like soul food, like mashed potatoes, stuff like that?
Probably something Brussels sprouts adjacent.
Brussels sprouts, that smell like just ass.
I mean, this guy's sniffing ass.
Yeah.
Right?
So he like the authentic ass smell.
He's got to, man.
Yeah.
This guy is living in the medieval times, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is some crazy shit. But
That's
hey,
some kinky stuff right there.
yeah. All right. I don't want to keep reiterating the same points, but ladies, make sure you watch yourself, please.
Yeah. Clean your booty too.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter, man. If women clean their booty, this guy's gonna try to sniff it. He's sniffing it, or he's gonna sniff it regardless.
You would be double embarrassed though if it stank.
No, I don't think this guy. I think he's probably hoping that it smells.
He like a little bit of like fragrance to it.
Yeah, he probably hoping that they fart or something.
Yeah.
He'll be like, oh yeah, oh fuck.
That nigga is nasty. If you see how he crept up, at first it was just kind of like, you know, I'm looking for a book in the same section as you, teen science fiction or something like that. And then all of a sudden he just like, he just like get on his knees, and then he turned real quick, and then he just take a couple whiffs. And then she asked him what he doing. He said he down here tying his shoe. I'm like, come on, dog.
He was very strategic about how he did it. He has many years of butt sniffing experience.
And then he just went to the next dude. But I feel sorry for the girl, because women do feel like super violated when it's stuff that, you know, obviously with men and women, just because of strength and size difference and stuff like that. And they just feel like, you know, like there's nothing they can do about the situation. I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, he's gonna get busted. He's gonna show his true colors one day.
Yeah,
like he gonna be back there sniffing, and one of these girls is gonna let one off.
No, you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a thick dude, but from the back you ain't gonna be able to tell it's like a nigga. I mean, it's like a nigga with a ponytail or something like that, with some long hair, and then he gonna walk up on you and try to sniff, and he gonna get snuffed out.
He gonna do that, and it's gonna end up being George Foreman. Why are you trying to sniff my booty? What are you doing back there? Take this George Foreman grill, make a burger. Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. All right, switching gears. Hurricane Hillary. First off, who's naming these hurricanes? I've not heard a black-sounding hurricane name ever in life. Are hurricanes racist? More on that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hurricane Hillary is coming down here. And the fucked up thing about it is it was a goddamn earthquake warning at the same time.
Yeah.
They trying to take us out here in California, man.
Yeah. And who authorized them to send me that notification?
I don't know, man. But I don't even react to this shit anymore. I'm just like, earthquakes. Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so crazy that like those, because it was sent from like the government of geology or something like that.
Meteorology.
Yeah. But it's so crazy how they can get that mass information out to everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It makes me wonder, like, what if we hacked everybody? You know how YouTube did, like with the iPhones back in the day, everybody was mad. They just put their album on everybody's phone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to hack like something and just put our podcast on everybody's phone.
Ooh, that's the best advertisement ever.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, who the fuck is this? This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, some people going to be mad like, man, this is stupid. And then some people going to be like, dang, this is a pretty cool podcast.
It's going to be one of these weird ass niggas. I like sniffing butts too. I'm like, nah, man, you got to get out. We ain't fucking with you, man.
I'm good.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I looked up who's naming these things. And let me see here. The World Meteorological Organization. These experts assign names to tropical storms according to an approved list before the start of a hurricane season. The U.S. National Hurricane Center started this practice in the early 1950s. The New World Meteorological Organization maintains the list of hurricane names. So it was made in 1950, man. This is definitely racist. I've not seen a Hurricane Tyrone, a Hurricane Shanika, a Hurricane Dontrell. I have not seen any black-sounding hurricanes.
Yeah, we need a Hurricane DeAndre.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, they come out with all these white hurricanes, man. We need some representation, too. Mm-hmm. We tired of seeing fucking Hurricane Connor, okay? You guys got to step it up.
Hurricane Blake.
That's some of the whitest names, man. Connor, Blake, Skyler.
Skyler.
If you meet a black guy named Skyler, he's definitely biracial. And his mom named him.
Yeah.
And his dad was like, fuck it.
Skyler Johnson.
His dad's name is Deontay. But his mom's name is, oh God, what's a good white girl name? Maggie.
Maggie is a good white girl name.
But they shorten it. He's like, hey, what's up, Maggers?
What's up, Mags?
What's up, Mags?
What's up, Mag? That's some high school weirdo stuff. You know, in high school, everybody be having these weird nicknames. Yeah. Mags.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, let me go down here and click on the other link. Gavin Newsom declares state of emergency for Southern California ahead of historic Hurricane Hillary. California Gavin Newsom on Saturday proclaimed a state of emergency Saturday for a large portion of Southern California as the state prepares for a historic hurricane expected to cause extreme rain and flooding. There are more than 7,500 boots on the ground already deployed to help protect from the impact of Hurricane Hillary, according to the release of his office. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom proclaimed a state of emergency for much of the Southern California to support Hurricane Hillary response and recovery efforts as the state continues mobilizing and coordinating resources ahead of the storm's forecasted impact starting today, the release said. The storm, which may pour more than a year's worth of rain on parts of the Southwest, weakened from a Category 2 storm to a Category 1 storm on Saturday night as it is advanced towards California, according to the National Hurricane Center. The storm has maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour. Fuck. The center said the storm has sped up and is moving faster than expected, now moving at 18 miles per hour and is currently located 535 miles southwest of San Diego. Hillary, so it's right now, it's like in Mexico right now. Hillary is expected to continue to weaken as it moves through northwest through cooler waters towards Southern California. Residents in Southwest are bracing for catastrophic and life-threatening flooding as the system is expected to pummel the region as a rare tropical storm with the harshest impacts expected on Sunday into Monday. Okay, well, Hurricane Hillary, what can I say? We could just hope for the best in regards to that. I just don't feel anything. I don't feel scared or anything. I just have this very optimistic view. I'm going to be okay. Some people are very reactionary. When things like this happen, they're like, oh, fuck, do I have enough supplies? I don't have a dildo. I don't have my I don't have my makeup. I don't know.
That's a wild. You got your emergency kit with a dildo in there.
Oh, man. You remember during the pandemic, it was the dude was getting mad at a bunch of people. He's getting mad at women because they went in for essential items, but they kept buying all the dildos. You don't remember that shit?
Nuh-uh.
You don't remember that? We talked about it on the podcast.
The only thing I remember talking about is the truck that I don't think it got into an accident and all the dildos was on the ground.
Oh, that was another time.
Yeah, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, we talked about a couple dildo-related conversations here. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I think a dildo is an essential item for women. Mm-hmm. If they stuck in the house and they trying to fuck themselves, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I'm not one to steal your pleasure. Go ahead and handle your business.
Yeah, I think that's essential.
To them?
Yeah. I mean, it keeps your stress levels down and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. So Hurricane Hillary.
Long day at work, come home.
Yeah, so Hurricane Hillary, you could, make sure you got enough water and make sure you got enough battery for your sex toy.
Yeah. What if it started with that?
What do you mean?
Like some girl had a crazy orgasm and it just caused a hurricane.
I mean, that's not. That's just so far from reality. I can't even entertain that.
Yeah, it was probably in Hawaii. Somebody was just like, "Oh my god!"
So the pussy caused the tsunami.
Yeah.
So the from the vaginal region, it caused the rippling effect.
Yeah.
And that caused a tsunami to recede the ocean and completely come back.
Yeah.
And then it was a what do you call it, a domino effect, because once the water receded and came back with the tsunami, then that triggered an earthquake. You know those things really happen, right?
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna rephrase my statement. Ladies, you need to chill out with your pussy. Okay? Stop it.
The pussy just is going crazy.
Fucking stop. You need to chill out with that shit, man. You causing earthquakes. And then we got a state of emergency because y'all can't calm down. Okay? I know you got guys out here sniffing ass, and that's bad.
That's crazy.
But y'all out here causing earthquakes. That's not right.
That is crazy.
It's bad.
Got to get this man some help.
Yeah, man. We haven't seen too much going on with Hurricane Hillary out here. It's been raining.
Yeah, it's been raining. It's some puddles filling up on the side of the road and stuff. So, the biggest thing, at least in Bakersfield and the Central Valley, it's mostly just be careful when you driving, because you'll mess around a hydroplane out here.
Yeah. What you got to watch out for is people that try to drive like it's dry conditions.
Yeah.
What I do is I keep my speed down. I reduce my speed by about 10 miles an hour whenever it's raining. So if it's a 40, I'm going about 32 to 30 miles an hour. If it's a 55 zone, I'm going about 45. I do that intentionally because you can mitigate the risk of an accident.
Yeah. And they say that the road is a little more slippery after like a long dry spell. So it's definitely important, like when it's not the rainy season, to make sure you're driving a little slower. Some people be driving, especially in big old trucks. Yeah. Like they be getting impatient. They'll drive around you and all kind of weird stuff.
They're like, Trump 2024.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Usually you see a big truck with that's lifted over 9 inches. It always got a Trump sticker on the back of it. Especially out here in Bakersfield.
It's got one of them Blue Lives Matter flags.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not mad at people for supporting Trump at all. I just know that I'm not dumb enough to support Biden like that. That nigga Biden trash.
Yeah.
And Trump is trash. But y'all people really out here like, that's right, Trump. Like he got a whole laundry list of shit he about to get in trouble for.
They get indicted every day.
Yeah, they got new charges. Like he's innocent. He didn't do nothing. Like I don't know what if Obama, first of all, I voted for Obama, but I know he wasn't without sin. This nigga was bombing people every other day. You know what I'm saying? So I am aware enough to understand Obama is not the most peaceful guy like everybody tries to make him out to be. But they acting like Trump is like, oh my God, Trump is going to save our country. It's like, that nigga can't save himself.
Yeah, he going to be in prison. He gonna be the first president to win in prison.
That nigga Trump going to be in there giving head if he don't get himself out of prison. I tell you what, I'm not going to fight. I'll give head only if you do not post a video. Okay? I need commissary. This nigga Trump gives some bomb ass head.
Got a very, very, very big penis.
I support black penises. I did so much for the black community. I beat COVID. I beat Joe Biden. And I beat black penises. He was like, God damn. This guy's locked up doing this. Man, that nigga Trump gives some bomb head.
That's a crazy statement. And not Tiana Trump either.
Oh, man. Yeah. How'd we get here, Keith?
I don't know. God bless America. Yeah.
Dun, 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 Yeah, I guess there are certain places in California that caught some of it. I guess in Bishop there was a lot of rain. And Bishop is kind of close.
It's moving through Nevada too.
Really?
Yeah, it's pushing through like Southern California, like LA, San Diego, and then it's going straight into the southern part of Nevada. So yeah, it's going pretty crazy.
I wonder if it's going to pull through the Central Valley.
It looks like it's like it'll like we just catch the remnants of it, but I don't know about the heart of the hurricane. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we catch the heart of it. I think it's gonna rip through there and go up towards the Bishop area, towards fucking Mammoth and all that. Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it just kind of fizzles out after.
Yeah, because I would advise people, like, if you don't have somewhere to go, like if you don't have somewhere that's like life or death, stay in the house. Because truth be told, there is a possibility of extreme, horrible road conditions in addition to mudslides. And I remember there was a mudslide so bad in 2015. I remember I was doing work out in Barstow, right? And we had about 75 trucks in Barstow. We were hauling dirt at the time to extend the Highway 58. And they told us, hey, we got a big storm coming in. All you guys got to go back to Bakersfield. All right, because we worked a week out there, and then we came back on the weekend. And we came back early, and I watched the news, and a couple things happened. One of them about 15 trucks flipped over on Highway 58. Like trucks literally fucking flipped over.
How? What for?
From the wind.
From the wind.
Yeah. That was one time. Another time right there on Highway 58 near the Scales, headed east, it was a horrible fucking mudslide. The mudslide was so bad that all the cars got stuck.
Damn.
All the cars got stuck. They were stuck like that for a while, and no one could pass through there for weeks. They had to get all that mud out. They had to get the cars out. It was a truck that was stuck in it. It was fucking bad. And the water was up high, dude. Like the water and the mud was up so high. It was up to this lady's windows, and she was like screaming and shit.
Dang.
Yeah, it ain't worth it, man. If make sure you check your road conditions too before you leave. Like get on your phone, check the road conditions, or you could call Caltrans. That'll definitely help.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's definitely it's weird because we're, you know, when we live in the Central Valley, we kind of immune to a lot of the weather conditions. Like it's either hot here or it may rain a little bit, you know, in the winter and fall and stuff like that. But for the most part, we don't really get extreme weather conditions. So, you know, a lot of times we don't. But I think that is important to make sure, especially when you're traveling, like you're trying to go to LA or you're trying to go up north. It's important to know what the weather is when you hit the road, or even going to Las Vegas. So
right now I'm looking for the Caltrans road conditions number just to help out our listeners that are in California. Let's see right here. It should be right here at the top. So you can call 1-800-427-7623. That's 1-800-427-7623. And all of these road conditions are up to date. You just put in a location through the automated system, and it will tell you if there's, you know, rain, if it's a mudslide, if they shut down the road, so you'll save your time going anywhere. You know?
yeah.
Be safe, man, because these mudslides ain't just mud. Sometimes these mudslides got thick pieces of rock, and if you're driving behind another car or a truck is in front of you, it can kick up a rock and go straight through your fucking window. So I'm just telling you, okay? All right?
Yeah. Be careful.
Be safe, buddy. Oh, here goes that fucking thing. Oh, that was a 241. Earthquake detected. Drop cover, hold on, protect yourself.
Yeah, I seen that. We didn't feel it though, so I don't know.
Nah, I remember the last time we had a legit earthquake, I was on the toilet, and I thought I was just my bowels. I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, man, my stomach is fucked up. And then
what did I eat?
Yeah, what's going on? And then then when I got up, I was like, I felt like a little discombobulated. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It felt like you couldn't stand straight, like you were leaning.
Yeah, I remember it was like I had just woke up from a nap, and then I just seen that, and I'm in an apartment on the second floor, so the house is just shaking. I'm like, yeah, this is the end. Like, you know, it's over. But
yeah, like, man, Jesus is dropping a fucking mixtape right now. He dropping the hottest mixtape of 2023. That'd be crazy. Like, I'm back. All the hurricanes and earthquakes and everything hit at once.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I have a feature from E40.
Ooh, hurricane.
Slurricane, man.
Ooh, hurricane, slurricane. Trying to get the hurricane. Hillary Clinton coming through with the brand new. I try to do what I do, but I be tripping. I'm right around this motherfucker and I be dipping. E4 fizzle, slibbity slobbity, bibbity bobbity. E40 is so crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to E40.
Yeah. He created his own language, man. That guy literally, like, he says things that I don't know what he means exactly, but I know exactly what the fuck he means. He's like, I'm out here doing what I do. You snitch ass? Like, yeah, I snitch ass. I know
I snitch ass. I definitely, yeah.
Ever since I was a fellowship, I knew what was going on in my life. You know what I'm saying?
E40 cold. He was the first. I remember in what was it, 3 Strikes? He said something like, "What's up, my weebalizations?" I was like, but like you said, you know what he mean.
Yeah, he came out with a book with his own language in it.
Really?
Yeah,
that was dope.
E40 book came out probably over 10 years ago.
That's cool with the definitions, like a dictionary. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I think him. Yeah, I think he probably has his own language.
I think people need to do more like take advantage of those like branding opportunities. The other day I was in Walmart. You know the show Yellowstone. They have their own chili inside of Walmart. I'm like, dang, that's an easy way to like just sell because people gonna be like, oh, I wonder if this is good. I like the show. You know, so.
I haven't seen Yellowstone. I heard that girl was on there, the white girl, the singer that's stacked.
Who is that?
Lainey Wilson.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know who she is, but if you're talking about who I think you're talking,
she's a country singer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but she's a sweetheart. She was on Theo Von's podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She got one of them like Southern Belle like accents. Mm-hmm. Well, I be got down it. Mm-hmm. Like that's how she talk.
Yeah.
Lainey Wilson to throw you off. Like she like got that Southern Belle, but she like thick like a black woman.
She got a Southern Belle. She a Southern Belle with a Southern almost look like a BBL.
Almost.
Yeah.
You'd be like, dang, you thick? Like, no, I got a little bit back there.
That's thick like mama's biscuits.
I got a little bit going on there. I guarantee you. You know what? I just need the women to chime in. I guarantee you, regardless of what ethnicity you are, if you are a thicker woman, a bunch of black guys have hit on you.
Oh yeah,
I can guarantee whether you're Mexican, white, Asian, whatever. If you're thick, black guys have hit on you many, many times.
Yeah,
many, many, many times.
Black like niggas just like thick women, man.
I think that black men have predated everybody when it comes to thick women. We like thick women from day one.
Since we was in Africa.
Well, yeah, back then.
For sure.
Yeah, when everybody's walking around naked.
Mm-hmm. Titties hanging. We was just looking at cheeks.
We was looking at ass like.
It's crazy.
That means she thick in knick-knock. If they're real thick, then they can be like, it's going to be an African person mad as a motherfucker. I was a big fan of your podcast, but you be very racist to Nigerian for some reason.
You sound like Nigerian and African mix, like half Nigerian, half African.
Yeah, well, that was my goal, man. I got the wrong dialect. I'm not from neither place. That's the best African I got. Nigga, I'm from Bakersfield. What you want from me?
That's funny.
Straight out of Nigeria, the crazy African name, Owolaku.
I liked your podcast until you talked like me. My family does not appreciate your banter.
You dishonor me. That was actually more Asian, actually. That sounds like something Asians would say.
We did not come here in order for you to make fun of us.
If what you want is the materials from Wakanda, all you have to do is say something.
We are the real niggas. You are a fake nigga. You are an American nigga.
If you want vibranium, just say that.
Oh man. That's hilarious.
Girl, you look good once you back that.
Angela Bassett should have won the Oscar.
Oh man, you got to follow that up, man.
That's all I got.
Oh man, that's when you got to move on, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep beating a dead joke over the head, man.
Yeah, dead African joke.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to follow it up with something fire, like why is it fire? Let
me see, mama.
Simba. Shout out to Simba, yo. All right.
Yeah.
Switching gears. Kid Rock. My name is Kid. Super hypocrite Kid Rock. All right,
I used to like Kid Rock, but now I don't. He's a racist nigga.
Yeah, he's drinking a Bud Light. Apparently that beer is gay now. So
it's trans.
He's changed his name to Kid Cock. Okay. All right. Kid Rock enjoys a Bud Light. Wait, what? Seemingly can't turn down the light, refreshing taste of Bud Light, no matter who is on the can. sipping on a cold one only months after he obliterated cases of beer with an AR-15 rifle. That's right. The same guy who exclaimed, fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch a few months ago was at Skydeck in Nashville Thursday taking a Colt Ford show. The former rocker seemed pretty relaxed as he clutched a blue can, taking sips while chatting and laughing with some friends. Unclear if there were other beer options available, but Kid Rock's choice seems pretty shocking considering how hard he went in on the brand earlier this year. As we reported, Kid Rock posted a video shooting and destroying several cases of beer on his property in April. The angry post came in response to trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney teaming up with the company for a social media campaign where her face was placed on the cans of beer. We should note Dylan's cans weren't for sale to the public. They were only issued to her. Though it's unlikely, maybe Kid Rock had a change of heart, or maybe he just realized there's much bigger things to worry about. All right, what I'll say about Kid Rock is this. Here's my thing when it comes to trans people. I don't push back on anything they want to do except for certain stuff. When they make statements like trans women are just as valuable to this earth than birthright cis women, I'm like, nah, you got to stop that talk. You got to stop that. Like, women go through too much for you to say that. I just can't agree with that. But I'm not going to be transphobic and shoot a bunch of beer cans because the trans person was on them. Mm-hmm. My stance, I don't even have a stance when it comes to trans people. They should just go ahead and do what you want. But whatever you do, don't make certain statements about women in a way to upside them, because I cannot agree with that. I cannot. I have women that I care about. I have women in my family. I have a sister. I have aunts. Okay, so no, women are it would not be women procreate or women birth all of us. Mm-hmm. Women go through a lot. Women can die from giving birth. Mm-hmm. I don't know if people realize that, but each time a woman gives birth,
especially black women,
yes. But each time a woman gives birth, they can literally die. There's a chance she can fucking die. Mm-hmm. Unless a trans woman has the ability to do that, I'm sorry. I just cannot subscribe to all those things. And I don't think that makes me transphobic. I think what makes you transphobic is shooting beer cans. Unnecessarily. Yeah. And then turning around and drinking the beer later on. You never had a tough stance. Let's just be clear. You just hate trans people, bro.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's all it is. You just hate trans people. You didn't make a statement against Bud Light. You just use Bud Light. You just leverage Bud Light against trans people. You use it as a middle ground because you was too much of a coward to just say what you really meant.
Yeah.
So you just shot Bud Light cans.
Yeah, he's more alcoholic than transphobic. That's what it sounded like to me.
Right.
Yeah.
He was so drunk he didn't realize he drank a gay beer, bro.
Yeah.
After he drank it, he was like, Yeah, that's just completely hypocritical.
Yeah, that is just not a good look, man. One, it's not okay to be transphobic at all.
No.
And then to just double back and be drinking a beer a couple months later,
yeah,
it's like, come
ignorant.
on, dude. Yeah. I feel like the people, you could pick whatever side you want to.
Right.
People will have something to say about it. I just like people with strong opinions or strong stances. You know what I mean? I don't like people that are like real wishy-washy.
Yeah, he's very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
You turn right around. You turned right around and was drinking a beer. And you thought nobody was going to be watching you, Kid Rock. That's where you fucked up. Mm-hmm. Whenever you are Kid Rock or somebody, or you're LeBron James or you're anybody, somebody is watching you. Mm-hmm. Somebody knows you're there. And from the footage, excuse me, guys, from the footage, it looks like he was up high and it was at a distance. He was talking to somebody. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was his girlfriend or his wife. I don't know who it was. But he was sitting right there next to her. But I'm going to tell you something. The woman that was right next to him while he was drinking beer, guess what she was thinking?
What?
You full of shit.
Yeah.
Women will never tell you how they feel about you. They just watch your motherfucking ass. If you shooting beer cans with an AR-15 and then a couple months later you drinking beer, that woman is sitting right there like, you just a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
They just watching you like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So you think that you have such a lack of self-awareness that you don't think that the people around you are even paying attention. Mm-hmm. Now, you wanted all that attention when you were shooting the motherfucking beer cans. Mm-hmm. Now, all of a sudden, you think the attention went away. Like, how long have you been in entertainment, bro? Mm-hmm. You've been in entertainment since at least 99.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you not know this?
He's been around for a while.
Before that, he was like a rapper at first. Mm-hmm. You know, and then once he got big enough, rapping, he switched over to like this rock lane.
Yeah.
And then he became a super conservative. Now, let me be clear. Ain't nothing wrong with being conservative. But it's something wrong with having, how do I say this? When you belong to like a far right ideology, that shit is whack. Same as on the far left. The far left shit, like, trans women are just as valuable as cis women. I'm not with that. The same as like with Kid Rock stance with the far right shit where you shooting beer cans. I'm not with that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's people just like me and Keith that exist. Like you exist in a reality that does not distort, your decisions or what you subscribe to. Mm-hmm. It's hard to subscribe to anything nowadays.
Yeah.
Because you realize how full of shit people are.
There's so much change, man.
Yeah, you got look at something new. Look at all the people that was supporting Lizzo. Like, oh, she a big girl. I'm always gonna support her. Turn around and she fat shaming people while being fat.
I wonder if there's always been this element to like liberals. Like, I'm sure there has, because when you think about like even with civil rights and stuff like that, I'm sure there was people like adopting. I'm sure there was like a person like what we dealing with now is like the trans conversations and the whole LGBTQIA plus, like all those conversations and kids and all these things. That's kind of what we're dealing with now. But I wonder if back in the day this would be the equivalent of like, white dude having a black dude over his house for dinner or something like that. And they'd be like, oh yeah, you have black people over your house? He's like, yeah, man, I love, Deontay is really cool, man. That's one of my best friends. I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. I'm pushing. So I'm just wondering, like, is this like a new thing where we're having all this like these new conversations about progress, or is it just like, or does it just kind of evolve into whatever?
So current? Like a lot of the very far left liberal conversations is like the black guy visiting for the first time.
Yeah, like maybe back in the day that would be the equivalent of these conversations now.
Like we're just trying to be so progressive that it's like not really genuine. There's a difference. Like, especially like if there are people on the left that's racist as fuck, but it's just in a different way. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, I support Black Lives Matter and I support this and that and I da-da-da-da. And they don't really be like allies. They just be using black people for cool points.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of white people with the whole BLM and they bio and stuff like that. I'm like, y'all don't really support black people.
Nah. Yeah. Then they'll say some shit and really make you think. Like, I've been around some people who's like, I guess, right-leaning or conservative, and like politics never came up. Mm-hmm. And then I've been around a liberal person like, yeah, man, it's crazy what they're doing to you guys out there. I just want to let you know I support you, And I'm just like, man, nigga, we shouldn't be talking about this.
The crazy part is, like, I remember this was right around like Donald Trump. Donald Trump just brought everybody to the forefront.
Right.
It made everybody show they true colors. So I could remember like some of my whole old high school teammates, some of my old high school classmates and stuff. They own social media, especially like around Trump, and then even before that, like Trayvon Martin and stuff, like the police brutality.
Oh, that was getting wild.
That era, yeah, it was a lot of people, and even white people was going at each other. Like, it was some white people like, nah, that's not okay, and then some other people like, well, statistically this happens, and it was just
didn't you have a classmate that would call somebody a nigger or something like that?
I don't know, I didn't have that.
You did. You screenshotted him.
Somebody called him
No, you had somebody on your Facebook that was saying something about the N-word, and then you screenshotted them.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Is it years ago?
It's years ago. Uh-huh. They used the N-word, but you like screenshot it and just showed it to people that you went to class with.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. I think I think it was kind of around, this political conversation.
Yeah,
but
like, damn.
That stuff be happening, man.
It's like, I just don't understand how you can allow politics to make you, regardless of what side you lean on.
Yeah.
How could you allow politics or an ideology to like be the engine or the vehicle that runs your life? Like, regardless if you're conservative or liberal, like, this is the same government that wants you to work until you like fucking 70 years old.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even care? These motherfuckers, all of them, they all want you to work until you fucking Biden's age. And then after you retire, your ass gonna be dead in the next couple of years. Is that like the leadership that you want? Personally, I think everybody should be retired in America by the age of 45. I don't think you should be working past the age of 45 years old, bro.
Yeah, that's a good life right there.
Yeah, because you at 45, you're still young enough and youthful enough to where you can have some retirement, you can go travel and things like, and still have some youth. But they want you to retire when your ass is grandpa, and they want you to work. Like, I just don't understand that. That's why as young people, we need to like navigate our lives a lot better, because this government does not give a fuck about any of us. Mm-hmm. None of us.
Yeah. I think for me, the biggest takeaway that I have when it comes to some of these conversations, some people, they're immune to it, right? I think Kid Rock, this is just podcast conversation, but we are not affecting his life in any capacity.
Fuck no.
He's a conservative man. He done made money with music, and he just, somewhere on a ranch chilling or something.
Shooting beers.
And then certain athletes, like not athletes, like I think like if you're maybe like a UFC fighter, or if you're a boxer, or somebody that's not necessarily connected to an organization. Like NBA, you can't really say what you want to. NFL, you got a little more leeway than the NBA. I think the NFL is like a little bit more of the good old boys than the NBA is, just because NBA players have a little bit more power because you can see their face, and some of them make so much money. But I think that, if you're in a space and you think that your bottom line can be affected by your opinion, I think you should just like keep it to yourself, man. Or you don't have to, and you don't necessarily have to keep it to yourself, but just keep it to your circle. Like you don't have to go on social media and, say your opinion about certain things. Because the way I think about it, like for me, being an aspiring, director and stuff like that, I keep a lot of opinions off air because I don't want I would be like, I would feel like an idiot if, I'm in a meeting. Yeah, I'm in a meeting with Bob Iger or something like that, and we talking about me directing some franchise for Marvel or whatever, and then all of a sudden he like, oh, this is an interesting take that you had. So for the most part, I just keep my opinion to myself because it is not worth it. Your opinion or expressing how you feel about this group of people or that group of people is not worth potentially losing out on some big deals.
True. Mm-hmm. Kid Rock seemed like a drunk. Like Kid Rock seemed like such an alcoholic that he'd shoot the beers and then finish drinking them. It's still some beer inside. Come on.
Sweet Bud Light.
He's making all the fucking sound effects now. Beers dripping everywhere.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Get it together, Kid Rock.
Yeah, man. I just, and not just Kid Rock, but these same talking points apply to everybody on the left as well. Because the sad part about it is people just like, it's weird how they can pick a side, and then even if something on that side is wrong, they don't even acknowledge it. To me, that's brainwashing. Like you're brainwashed at that point. You can't think for yourself.
Yeah.
That's a problem, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think at one time I was kind of like that for sure.
Like you wouldn't say anything?
No, like I just didn't notice as many problems on the left.
Oh,
I would just see things on the right, and it would just be so magnified. And then as you go on, you realize how much the left is playing the same motherfucking game.
Yeah.
If not worse. And then you just like, man, fuck both of y'all.
Yeah, nobody's right. It's just an opinion.
Do you see that interview with what's that black dude that was on Breakfast Club? Larry Elder.
No, I didn't watch it.
Man, this nigga Larry Elder got every statistic on what black people not doing. Well, it shows that the statistics show that black people are unemployed at this much, and it shows that this amount of crime and the disproportionate amount of crime. It's like, dog, like the amount, like this guy is so fucking brainwashed.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's pathetic.
Yeah,
there's certain ideology, there's certain statements that I don't completely disagree with Larry Elder, but it's just like, come on, my brother. Like, if all these things you got to say about black people, dog, we act like just black people cause their own problems and all that. It's like, bro, it's a lot more nuanced than that. I think it's irresponsible, especially as a person of color, to get out there and just have every statistic of what you think black people are not doing and not showing what was the preface to that.
Yeah.
What caused that, and was it by design? And then what he'll say is he's like, we could use that as an excuse so we can overcome, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like these same. Now I will say this, right? And this is not to chastise white people, but I will say that the barricades that happened towards black people never happened to white people. They had no barricades against education, housing, none of it. So if you're a person that's white, I'm just being 100. When it comes to these issues, just educate yourself. Don't just stand there and say, well, they should do this or that. No, educate yourself on the issue before you start talking, because none of these issues happen to the white community. Redlining, all of it. None of that shit happened. So you got to be careful when you speak about these things, because it becomes a very non-objective conversation. It's better to educate yourself on that and say, hey, you know what? This is why I don't have any black neighbors. This is why I only got 2 black neighbors in my neighborhood, right? So the rationale, I wonder what the rationale is. Is the rationale like, yeah, black people are just too stupid. They're just too stupid and they're criminals, and this is why they can't overcome. If you believe that, God bless you, brother.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah. I think that the only issue I have with Larry Elder is that the people like him or like people like Candace Owens, they're not like solution-based people.
No.
They're just people that have they're just pushing a narrative about the black community, about the black community. And statistics are statistics, you know. And I think statistics don't mean much without context. And
Right.
I don't want to get into like the reason behind whatever.
No.
But I just think that I think that if you have an opinion about something, that you should try to do something to change it, instead of like just going on the radio and spreading this information.
You have to be better than that, and the reason why is because you need to understand what your demographic is. You need to do the analytics. Like, even we look at the analytics for this podcast. We know how many men, women are listening to this podcast, and we understand that if we say certain things, we don't like make ourselves this super, like, the place you come for facts all the time. That's not what we're based in. We're based on, playful conversations also mixed in with information. But when we do speak on these things, it's coming from experience. And we also tell you to reference it yourself. But what you could be doing and not realizing is, if you're saying all these things about black people, you could be galvanizing racists that subscribe to your shit. So you're like, black people, they're just, doing this, and they're committing the crimes, and they're doing this, and they're without any context. All you're doing is affirming everything they already believe. They will keep coming to you as Larry Elder because they already believe that black people ain't shit. So when you get your black ass out there and you like, oh, the black people and then the statistics, now they're like, see, he's a good one. He's a good black.
Yeah.
He's a good black, and he's saying the things that we feel.
Yeah.
Same with Candace Owens. That's irresponsible what the fuck she's doing. That's very irresponsible.
Yeah.
Now, my thing is this, I don't ever completely disagree with a person, because Candace Owens has said some very factual things. But she's also been extremely full of shit. And is perpetuating a problem that needs to fucking stop. If I had a platform and all I did was demonize white people, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
What am I helping by just demonizing white people? I'm not helping shit. But they get on that platform and they got some new stat. It's propaganda too, because they show motherfuckers stealing, and they'll show a black person running out of the store. Oh my God, crime is getting out of control. And it's like, you seen a black person running out of a store stealing shit. And now you got to realize what kind of thoughts those provoke. Like, it's no different than cartoons in the early 1920. Those cartoons like when we was fighting against Japan, and they was drawing them cartoons up in the newspaper, and it'd be like people with slanted eyes and putting them out as this image that they were just bad people.
Yeah.
It's no different than when you have conversations that are reductive of someone else.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. It's just not in cartoon format.
Yeah. Yeah. It's propaganda.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
You good, cuz?
Yeah, sat on my cord for a second. Got so pumped up, man. Forgot I was sick, cuz. On Neighborhood Crip, I thought I was... Okay. All right, I think we can move on from this. God bless Kid Rock. That guy's crazy, man.
Yeah.
If you got a problem drinking, make sure you contact the alcoholic of the ADD people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm sure he drunk those beers after he shot him.
Yeah.
He's like, poof, poof, poof. My name is Kid.
He probably was actually mad that he shot those. Like, man, what am I doing? I wasted a good Bud Light.
Yeah, no, he shot him with the AR-15, and he was mad because the beers was hot now.
Yeah.
Man, why these beers hot, man? Fuck. I remember him in that movie Joe Dirt.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here, Joe Dirt. Nobody wants you around, man. Nobody wants you around, Joe Dirt.
That was a funny movie.
Cry, little boy, cry. Yeah, Kid Rock did a good job in that movie, though. All right, switching gears. Former NFL star Michael Oher, inspiration for The Blind Side, claims Tuohy family never adopted him. Let's get right into it. Former NFL star Michael Oher, inspiration for The Blind Side, claims Tuohy family never adopted him. Michael Oher, the former NFL offensive lineman and inspiration for the 2009 box office success, The Blind Side, told a Tennessee judge that contrary to the film version of his life, he was never adopted by the Tuohy family, and alleged that the family earned millions from the story. Oher, 37, has petitioned a Shelby County judge to revoke the conservatorship from the Tuohys, arguing that he's old enough to handle his own business affairs. The Tuohys have falsely and publicly represented themselves as the adoptive parents of Michael, the petition claims. In The Blind Side, Leanne Tuohy was portrayed as Sandra Bullock, while Sean Tuohy was played by Tim McGraw. Since at least August of 2004, conservators have allowed Michael specifically and the public generally to believe that conservators adopted Michael and have used that untruth to gain financial advantage for themselves and the foundations which they own or which they exercise control, the petition alleges. Sean Tuohy said Tuesday that he learned about Oher's allegations when his friend sent him an article about it. The conservatorship in question, Tuohy said, had nothing to do with the movie, but was meant to help Oher as he got recruited to play college football. That's a fucking lie, I could tell. He didn't need a goddamn movie to get recruited. Come on, man. You think somebody's going to believe that bullshit? They said the only way Michael could go to Ole Miss was if they was actually part of the family, which is a goddamn lie. He was good enough to go there already. Tuohy said, adding that because Oher was 18 at the time, the conservatorship was a way to make that happen legally, since he was too old to be legally adopted. We contacted lawyers who told us that we couldn't adopt over the age of 18. The only thing we could do was have a conservatorship. We were so concerned it was on the up and up that we made sure the biological mother came to court. Look here, dog. All y'all was doing was just taking advantage of somebody. Mm-hmm. He was going to go there anyways. He was already talented. And I think what sucks about this situation is it was very predatory. And in the movie, it completely misrepresents Michael Oher. It made him look like he couldn't even play the game of football, and he needed Sandra Bullock's character, which was Leanne Tuohy, to fucking tell him how to hit. Which is like, I mean, some of these...
No, not even tell him how to hit, how to explain the game of football to him.
Yeah, it just made him look like a big ogre.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had with it.
All dopey.
Yeah, and I didn't like that at all. Mm-hmm. I think, and believe it or not, people might think this is OD what I'm about to say, but that movie was probably the closest thing to a fucking minstrel show that I've seen. And the reason why is because it may seem harmless, like this isn't racist or anything. This lady, Leanne Tuohy, has a history of doing this shit. She found two young men at a store, and one of her friends had mentioned, "What are they doing here? Like, why are they here? They're not buying anything or whatever." Mm-hmm. And she went up to the boys and took a picture with them, and then stated that they didn't have enough for bus fare and that she helped them and all of that. And then the boys seen it and was like, "That's not what happened. That's not true." And one of the boys' mothers was like, "What the fuck? Like, nah, don't be taking pictures of them and putting this on here. This is a lie." Mm-hmm. So she has a history of doing this. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm telling you, right? People only paint conservatives as racist, right? This was that weird far left racism that we talk about. Mm-hmm. The people that look at black people as like this fucking, oh my God, they're so sad and pathetic. Let me help them type shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, this is not a fucking pity party. Nobody needs you to help them like that.
Yeah.
If it's not genuine, I think anybody can help anybody regardless of what race they are. But when it's like this is like the definition of the white savior thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, this is classic white savior, and it's ironic because we were in a group chat and we were chopping it up, and then I had mentioned that, and I sent the Wikipedia page for the white savior, and I don't know when they added the Blind Side, but the Blind Side was one of the examples that they used as example of the film or the idea of the white savior, and it's exactly what it is. Like in the movie, Sandra Bullock, she the son befriends the guy, and then all of a sudden Sandra Bullock comes and saves him from poverty and gives him a place to live and adopts him and then gets him to college and to the NFL and winning the Super Bowl and all this other stuff, and she's looked at as the hero. And she's actually the main character in the movie, ironically, but that's just nature of the
and
beast.
let me explain this before you think me and Keith just being racist. It says white savior. In film, the white savior is a cinematic trope in which a white character rescues people of color from their plight. The white savior is portrayed as messianic, and often learns something about themselves in the process. It's like that movie, like Freedom Writers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like shit like
Freedom
that.
Writers, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, man, you get tired. Even Bill Burr cracked a joke on it.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Burr is like, how about we make a movie where like it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
Like the white teacher goes to an all black school and they like run her out of the fucking school.
Yeah.
Like I'm so tired of these fucking movies.
Even a movie like The Help.
Yeah, it's all there. I seen that list. It's like a big list of all these movies.
Let me see what else. I was just thinking about that off the top of my head. Yeah, it's a bunch of movies like that, but that's just how it is. Even in some, I would say I wasn't gonna say like Black Panther, but they kind of like make fun of the idea of the white savior. Like they have the white guy in there. They call him a colonizer. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's a real thing, and I think that I think that's why like I care so much about creating content, creating films and stuff like that, because this is what happens when white people control the narrative. When I really, because when I watched it initially, I was like, oh, this is just how the movie was. Like it's, like a super athletic black kid that didn't really know much about football, and he learned the ropes, and he was just like, talented and strong, and then he made it to the NFL. He played at Ole Miss, made it to the NFL. I'm thinking that this is the story, but come to find out, and I didn't do my research at the time, but come to find out years later that none of that was real. Man. And I think that if a filmmaker, like a responsible black filmmaker, would have got a hold of that story, that obviously it's, when it comes to making biopics, like there's always going to be some freedom, some creative liberties, as they would call it.
Right.
Yeah. So they're not going to tell the story exactly how it played out.
Right.
But the depiction, though, that's where it gets tricky. So for a white man, who directed and wrote the movie, they don't have that responsibility, right? So if somebody like Ryan Coogler, who directed Fruitvale Station, I'm sure he was very particular with the way that he depicted Oscar Grant,
right? Because
one, he's from that area, and two, he's a black man, so he doesn't want to paint the black man to look like any kind of way. And I think that if I were to have had this directed this movie, wrote this movie, I would have definitely not depicted a black man as being like he's just so dumb. He's kind of walking around so dopey.
So how I do it?
Yeah.
How we doing?
Yeah. And then you come to find out, like he was all American before.
Yeah, before they even came around.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
They just tricked him into a fucking conservatorship, and then they leveraged that to make money. Oh, and they also cut him out of it. That's the most they put. It was 4 of them involved: the father, his wife, and his 2 kids,
and the daughter.
Yeah, and he kicked freaking Michael Oher out of the. Well, he wasn't involved in the financial part.
Making
of the conservatorship,
reaping the benefits of the,
which is fucked up. It's what it is.
They're talking about the movie though, reaping the benefits of the the finances from
That's what I know. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you said the conservatorship is not the movie.
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying. They tricked him into it, but that they were able to leverage.
Yeah.
Like they were able to leverage benefits from that.
Yeah.
So it's not about that's not on the movie.
No, what I'm saying, that's what you said though. You said they kicked him out of the conservatorship.
Well, basically they didn't kick him out of the conservatorship.
Yeah.
But they kicked him out of the benefits.
Yeah.
So all of them reaped the benefits. He was kicked out of it, and all of the financial benefits, he got none of them. He got his NFL contract, and he had an agent and shit, so they didn't cut into that. But they cut into all that, and they made a lot of fucking money. And they keep on like revamping this thing, so they keep making money hand over fist over and over. And by them intentionally cutting him out, that's like omitting something. Like you basically are saying we want to keep this behind closed doors. But honestly, in his defense, well, not in his defense, but just honestly, if they use your likeness in a film, you should be paid something. And for somebody to not give you a dime of that is beyond selfish. It's real sinister.
Yeah, I think it's tricky, just the legality of a lot of that stuff, but I think in terms of just being a decent human being, like, he should definitely have some stake in the movie, like a percentage of the movie. That doesn't make sense for him. At least being a producer of the movie or something like that. And
there was a lot of weird shit going on. So yeah, what I was trying to say is the conservatorship allowed them to leverage things, especially at Ole Miss. All of a sudden, his high school coach became a coach at Ole Miss, which is also weird. It's like, how the fuck did this guy get over there? So, yeah, they just found that, the big talented football player, painted him as a big dummy in the movie. And people were going after Sandra Bullock. It's not her fault. She was just playing a role.
Not really. I'm not going to let her off the hook. But I will say that, like, there was, like, he was even saying, like, that he would go into the locker rooms and people would be, like, looking at him as like the dumb football player, like, people thinking that he can't read or learn the playbook just because of the way that they depicted him in the movie. It's like, nah, that ain't really the case. He said he was in plays and stuff as a kid. Like he was just a regular kid that just had a terrible upbringing. Yeah. And I think with Sandra Bullock, I will say, I don't know how much she knew of all this stuff, but I'm sure she was very involved in like the creation of this movie. When you attach like a star of a movie like that, you're a lot of times like sitting down with the mom and having these conversations. And I'm sure there was conversations she had with the guy, and I'm sure she could pick up on certain things.
I don't agree.
What do you mean? I
don't agree. Everyone's not as vigilant and hyper vigilant as to catch everything. Sometimes somebody can sell you something so good that they'll have you believe in it.
But I'm saying,
I had an uncle, he passed away, but he was selling tickets to events that didn't exist and people was buying them.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're having a conversation with Michael Oher, you could tell he's not a dummy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying inside of those conversations, I understand like if you're talking to the mom and she's selling you a dream, like it sounds all good and stuff like that. But I would imagine like one conversation with Michael Oher, I don't think he's just sitting up there like he's just this dumb, like, glassy eyed, 6'5" athlete. Like he seems to have like some wits about it. So
yeah, Michael Oher is one person. You got 4 members of the family that are feeding them this story. So when you got 3 to 4 people that are involved in telling this story, and you just got Michael Oher right there, I don't even know how much he was involved in the film. So for the writers and the people in the film, like, how can they delineate between how smart or how dumb this person is?
Well, the writer is interviewing him. It's his story.
Yeah.
They had conversations. That's why he said he was like, I didn't understand when the movie came out why they would depict me in that way.
Well, maybe they chose a side, Keith. Maybe she sold them a story good enough that they bought it and used it. That's all I'm saying. Is some people could sell you bullshit and they stamp it so good that it's bullshit, but you just run with it. I know some people that lie like a motherfucker and people believe them.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying in regards to that.
Yeah.
I think this thing is definitely going to continue to develop. We caught it here. We've allowed a couple days or a week or so to allow this to go. But yeah, it's been some weird stories. I didn't really want to get into the other sports stories, but it was a big one.
What you talking
You hear
about?
the other one, Wander Franco? Wander Franco plays for the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, And this motherfucker was in a relationship with a 14-year-old.
Dang.
He's 24 years old. There's pictures of him kissing her and shit.
Like an ongoing relationship?
Yeah, they got rid of him already.
How
And a second girl came forward.
What is he from America?
Nah, Dominican Republic.
He's Dominican. Dang.
And they showed a girl, she looks really young. And he's like kissing her and shit. And it was like, what? And the dude is married too.
Oh dang, he tripping.
I guess like his wife had posted like some picture in the last few days ago.
With them together?
No, not with them together. She posted a picture of herself when she was 10.
Dang.
So his wife might be done with him.
I don't get it.
His wife posted a picture of herself when she was 10. Like as almost, it could be a subliminal reaction to him fucking a 14-year-old. I don't know. But
I don't understand that.
I don't know. But that's her profile picture. I'm getting all this information from sports outlets.
Yeah, I get that. But I'm saying I don't get why you would post a 10-year-old picture.
Well, her? Mm-hmm. I don't know either. But I mean, I'm not here to, to manage her emotions. Imagine being a wife to somebody like that, and she's 21 years old. She's a grown woman.
Yeah.
And you find out that your husband, who's got a $223 million contract, is fucking a 14-year-old, and then another 13, 14-year-old comes forward.
Yeah.
Because he didn't pay him the hush money.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, man. Well, I didn't really want to speak about this.
Yeah, I don't know what is there to say about it, but that's a sick story, though.
Yeah, it is. And $200-something million contract.
Yeah, that's out of there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll probably have more on that next week. Or maybe not.
I hope not.
Yeah, I think R. Kelly was involved. I need help. Help from what? I need help to not have such a big heart.
Hog tie. I don't know the hog tie.
That's going to go down as one of the funniest fucking interviews of all time.
God dang.
How much time did R. Kelly get?
A lot of years. I don't know. It was a couple like overlapping sentences in different states and stuff like that.
I mean, this nigga was wilding though. He was like holding them captive low key.
Yeah.
God damn. God. My body's.
There was a video of Keke Palmer on the Breakfast Club, and they had asked. I think she's talking about music and how R. Kelly is like a genius writer and all these different things, and it was around the time when like stuff was starting to bubble up again, and she was like, "Come on, man, I don't think he didn't do all that. The last girl he was with, she was like 18 or something like that."
Whoa.
Yeah, and it didn't age that well, so I don't know.
That ain't cool, especially as a woman.
Yeah, especially you dealing with Trey Songz and all that other stuff. You got to be careful with what you're saying.
Yeah, you picking and choosing what predators you believe.
Yeah, and you seen that she did that music video with Usher?
I seen that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Her man dipped on her too.
He left?
Yeah, they broke up.
Dang.
That's crazy.
They always tied together though. They got a kid.
I think at the end of the day, I think two things are true. I think that men and women need to be sure that they are wanting to be with each other. In addition to that, there needs to be a high level of respect going both ways. Okay, this is the question I would have for women. When you wear a G-string with your booty out and you make sure you turn it towards Usher or whatever person, how is that conducive to your relationship? That's the question. Mm-hmm. And as men, how is it conducive to your relationship to go on Twitter and say something reductive about your girl? Yeah. Both of those, it's just extreme immaturity going both ways.
And then it just starts getting petty. I get the whole like taking advantage of the conversation and the marketing and stuff like that, but that's still your baby daddy. You know what I mean? Like to be like, doing the
what was that?
Those some unhoused people.
He said, "Hey."
But to do that after you break up, that's a little much. That's a little heavy-handed. Because you still got to, when he pick up the kid, y'all still got to have a conversation.
Yeah. Man, these unhoused people be making all kind of noises, man. and like the podcast, it be picking it up.
Yeah.
From the fifth floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. One dude was homeless down there sounding like Pitbull.
What do you say?
He's like, mentirosa, mentirosa, mentirosa. Just shout out shit. I'm like, oh, goddamn. We got a homeless Puerto Rican downstairs. Fuck is going on?
That's crazy. But man, I just think that, from my perspective, when it comes to our stories. I'm glad that he said something, because, you know, so many times you hear these conversations like behind the scenes, like, you know, like I've been in a couple different spaces where like you'll hear stories about, you know, certain executives or, you know, certain comedians or actors or whatever. You just hear like, you know, just people casually talking like me and Eddie. You just hear different stories, but they never make it to like a grand scale, because people don't like, most of the time they just sweep everything under the rug. But I'm glad he's saying something, because it sheds a light on like a lot of the stuff that be going on, especially in the entertainment industry. Like, you know, people, you know, this type of stuff happens a lot. You know, you hear stories, and who knows if it's true or not, but a lot of, you know, creators getting their ideas for TV shows taken, and, you know, their life rights. And, you know, even with Rocky, you know, some people say that Sylvester Stallone stole that story from another man. So it's just, I think it's important to get these stories out there. And I think it's important also for us to really control our own narrative, because Disney is always going to Disney it up, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we know that the real Pocahontas story
terrible
is
fucking
not
story. It's
not like the Disney movie. And much of these other stories, and Cinderella is not as like cookie cutter as that. Wait, let me finish. Like, it's not all cookie cutter like that. So Disney is always going to take, you know, the story, and they're going to put a little bow on it, and they're going to make it real cute and make the story like real heroic. And at the end, there's going to be a message. But I think, you know, it's important for us to, like, you know, have these conversations, and for there to be more, you know, Black creators out there, so that we, you know, so that nothing like this happens, where you got a Black man looking like a freaking stupid. Like he don't even know 2 + 2, and he out here just strong and stuff. So
I want you to block right, young man.
Yeah,
barbecue what? Barbecue. It's like, come on, man. You know what, dude? Look, like with the whole Pocahontas John Smith shit, she was a minor. She was like 12 or some shit, and she didn't look anything like that. She was bald, and you know, it was just, and it was some terrible stories of what they did to native people. You know, with the rape and you know, and the fucking the smallpox.
Yeah,
and it's just disgusting. And what's crazy is Disney tied a bow on that shit.
Yeah, that's what they do.
It's wild. So if they did that, then you gotta, like, they gotta fix this shit, man. They gotta stop. This is what happens when history is written by the winners. It starts to bleed into things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any Black savior movies. Like, what movie of a Black person coming down and saving white people? What movie? Well, it's not. Was the closest one is what, the Green Mile?
I was gonna say that, the Green Mile. Yeah.
Take my hand, boss.
The Black savior. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the closest thing to a Black savior. That nigga was sweating that whole movie.
Sweating.
Like, god damn, there was no AC in that whole movie.
Them lights be, if you've ever been, especially back then, like them freaking the movie lights, bruh, they get so hot.
Hell yeah.
Because they not, nowadays we got LED lights. Like, LED lights still get hot.
Oh yeah, that light gets hot, dude.
But back in the day, them regular with the light bulb in there, them, I think called like Fresnel lights and all that stuff is stupid hot.
That used to
burn your hand.
You doing like the indirect light thing now, but when you had it pointed at us, god damn.
That mug used to be hot, huh?
Woo.
Yeah.
It was a hot one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we got nothing else, man.
Yeah.
Wrap this bad boy up, man. We appreciate you. I made it through the whole podcast without
farting,
without ruining it with my illness. You know, yeah, man. So it looks like we made it to the end of this one. Make sure you head on over to the YouTube and show some support at a Trucker's Mind podcast.
Yes, sir.
Head to truckersmind.com for merch. Same name for the Instagram. It's at _truckersmind_podcast. And head over to the Cash App for a friendly donation at ATMPOD. We appreciate you guys. If you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We are out of here.
Peace.